Hi, good morning. Welcome to Cooking Uncovered. This morning I'm trying to get some muffins in the oven because my sister's coming over for coffee, and I thought I would try to use up some of these pears that I have at home. And the thing about pears is they have a very short prime life, and you've got to use them up. So I'm just cutting up my pears very, very tiny, and I'm going to add them to my dry ingredients here in my bowl. So in this bowl I've got whole wheat flour, white flour, cup and a half of white flour, half a cup of whole wheat flour. I have my 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of soda, quarter cup of sugar, and then I've got my spices, which I'm using my allspice, my nutmeg, and my cinnamon. I think that's going to taste really good. So I'm going to stir that up in my bowl. And to that, I'm going to add 1 cup of my frozen blueberries. Now these happen to be the fresh frozen blueberries, like from the Fraser Valley, but you can use any frozen blueberries, doesn't matter. Throw them into your dry ingredients, and then cut up your pears into small chunks. You do need smaller chunks because you don't want these great big chunks of pears. So just cut them up very tiny. And I have used about half a pear. Would work. You could probably put more. Would work really well. So just toss your fruit into your dry. And let that just sit while you work on your wet ingredients, because the muffin method, definitely you incorporate the wet into the dry, and once you get the wet in, you have to be careful not to overmix. Alright, so the wet, 1 cup of milk made into sour milk or buttermilk. So the way you do that is you take 1 cup of milk and you add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and that gives you your sour milk, which is really important for this recipe. I'm also going to add half a tablespoon of vanilla. I have 1 egg here. That goes in. So my milk goes into my egg. Milk, vanilla, egg. And now 3 tablespoons of oil, which makes this recipe really easy to work with. 1, 2, 3. Now what you do is you just mix that up together, and you add your wet to your dry, and that's called the muffin method. It makes it very, very moist and tasty and light and fluffy. Now, the trick here is do not overmix. You fold this in only until you get rid of the dry ingredients, and you've got to be careful, because if you overmix, your muffins will be dense and chewy rather than light and fluffy. So we're just going to continue to mix. Now, trick here too, while I'm letting that sit for 2 seconds, I've got my muffin cups lined with papers. I'm actually going to oil, just lightly grease the inside of my muffin cups, and that helps your muffins come out easier as well. So again, we're just stirring till we can see the dry mixed in, so you get rid of most of the dry. And then, with your tablespoon, you just pop into your muffin cups. So a nice rounded tablespoon goes into my muffin cups, and that goes into the oven for 20 minutes at 375. And I'll show you what it ends up being. So here's my first batch I made this morning. Look at those beautiful muffins. So those are your blueberry pear muffins, or pear blueberry, whichever you want to call it. Delicious. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to continue to fill these, and then I'll be ready to put on the coffee when my sister comes. So thanks for joining me early in the morning on Cooking Uncovered for baking. Thanks.